am standing here on the Giza Plateau. Before me are 2.3 million blocks of stone, weighing a total of 6 million tons. A structure that has stood for over 4,500 years. People talk about aliens, about lost technologies. But as a scientist, I look for the fingerprints of engineers, not miracles. It all began with a vision. Khufu, the powerful pharaoh of the 4th dynasty. This wasn't just a tomb, it was a statement of power. And to execute it, he needed an engineering apparatus unlike anything seen before. The first mistake could have been catastrophic. The pyramid had to align almost perfectly with the 4 cardinal directions. But how do you find true north without a magnetic compass? Giza's deviation is just 1/15th of a single degree. The answer lies in the sky. Egyptian engineers tracked the circumpolar stars. When these stars aligned vertically, using a plumb line, they pinpointed true north. A masterpiece of observational astronomy. You can't build a mountain on weak ground. The plateau had to be flat. They didn't use lasers. They used water. A network of channels was dug through the bedrock and filled with water. The water level established the benchmark, and everything above it was chiseled away. The majority of the pyramid, the core, is made of Giza limestone, quarried right on site. Imagine the sound of chisels, wooden mallets, and the rhythmic coordination of thousands cutting these enormous blocks free from the mother rock. But the critical inner chambers needed something stronger: granite. And the nearest granite quarry was in Aswan, 800 kilometers to the south. These blocks weighed up to 50 tons. The Nile is the lifeblood of Egypt and the transport highway for Giza. During the annual flood season, the river rose, allowing massive barges carrying stone to approach closer to the construction site. Archaeological evidence reveals a sophisticated harbor right at the foot of the plateau. This was the logistics hub. The Diary of Marir, the only surviving document from that time, details the delivery of Tura limestone arriving at this very port. The friction problem. The stone arrived at the port. Now, how to pull them across the desert? Dragging a 2.5-ton block on a wooden sled over dry sand is nearly impossible. Friction is the enemy. But the Egyptians were masters of observation. A painting in a tomb revealed the secret: a person pouring water directly in front of the sled. This wasn't a ritual. This was applied physics. Wet sand at optimal humidity, around 5%, creates capillary bridges between the sand grains, hardening the surface and reducing friction by up to 50%. The sled now glides, no longer sinking. A genius solution. Hollywood loves the idea of hundreds of thousands of slaves being whipped. The truth is far more complex and impressive. This was an organized, paid in food, beer, and lodging, and highly skilled workforce. We found their city, Hayt El Ghurab, a massive settlement capable of housing up to 20,000 rotating workers. It had barracks, housing for officials, and a vast infrastructure to support the construction site. Sustaining this force required a massive food industry. We found the remains of industrial bakeries, grain silos, and millions of animal bones. These workers were very well fed to have the energy for the labor. Was the work dangerous? Absolutely. But they were not abandoned. The workers' tombs show evidence of professionally healed fractures and even basic surgery. This demonstrates the value of the workforce. Building the foundation is one thing. Lifting stones to a height of 146 meters is another. This is the biggest question. What kind of lifting system did they use? The answer is likely not one, but a combination of methods. In the lower levels, evidence supports the use of a long, straight ramp. It was efficient for transporting large volumes quickly. But to reach the top with a straight ramp, it would have to be over 1.6 kilometers long and contain more material than the pyramid itself. Clearly, the strategy had to change. One possibility is they switched to a wrapping ramp system, spiraling around the pyramid as it grew taller. This saved material, but obscured the corners, making it difficult to maintain geometric precision.
Recently, a compelling theory has emerged: the internal ramp. A sloping tunnel running parallel to the exterior face, hidden inside the pyramid. Microgravimetry surveys have revealed low-density spiral patterns within the structure, supporting this hypothesis. How did the internal ramp work? Blocks were pulled up the tunnel. At each corner, a space was left open for teams to use levers to rotate the block 90 degrees before continuing up the next tunnel section. Once in position, skilled stonemasons took over. They used levers to adjust the block with millimeter precision. They utilized a thin layer of ancient mortar as a lubricant and leveler, not as an adhesive. The strength isn't just on the outside. Look at the king's chamber. Above it are 5 stress-relieving chambers, separated by massive granite beams. This structure disperses the millions of tons of weight above, preventing the chamber from collapsing. Structural engineering at its finest. The pyramid we see today is just the rough core. Originally, it was covered by a casing of fine white limestone, quarried from Tura across the Nile. This casing was placed from the top down as the external ramps were dismantled. They were ground and polished to a mirror-like finish. The final stone, the pyramidion, may have been clad in electrum, an alloy of gold and silver. It was the culmination of 20 years of labor. Imagine it in 2560 BCE, a dazzling white structure, reflecting the sunlight so intensely it could be seen from miles away. Not an ancient tomb, but a brilliant beacon of engineering. Giza's advanced technology wasn't lasers or aircraft, it was human organization. A deep understanding of friction physics, naval logistics, precise astronomy, and extraordinary discipline in mechanics. As we peel back the layers of engineering, the mystery doesn't disappear, it deepens. The Great Pyramid is not evidence of external intervention. It is the greatest monument to human ingenuity, showing what we can achieve when vision and engineering combine perfectly.